Hey everyone, One Big Boss here, and as you can tell from the title of the video that you clicked on, we're talking about Resident Evil 6 possibly coming to next-gen systems. Now whether or not this is true or not, it's still worth talking about, because Resident Evil has kind of seen a comeback in many ways. You know, back in 2012 is when Resident Evil 6 came out, and fans were not pleased with that, reviewers were not pleased with that, official reviewers were not pleased with that. I guess it sold decently, but that's because everybody bought it at first and everything, and then just realized what it was in the end. And I remember back when it first came out, I got it at launch and everything, but I remember a couple of weeks later, because I was working at GameStop at the time, a couple of weeks later, the prices dropped heavily on that game. Like, nobody was buying it. Like, they cut the price, like, beyond half, from what I remember. And I don't understand what they get by bringing this game to next gen, when a lot of people didn't like it. Now, I'm not trying to get into an argument saying Resident Evil 6 is the worst game ever, but personally for me, yeah, it's probably one of the worst Resident Evil games I've ever played. Now, there are things I do love about the game, such as I love Helena Harper. She was a great addition. I like Jake. A lot of people are kind of 50-50 on him, but I actually like this character. The grown-up Sherry was awesome. I think she was a good, strong character, not some kind of like damsel in distress kind of thing. She held her own. I think she was pretty good. The voice acting in it was fucking fantastic. Matthew Mercer playing Leon Kennedy, Laura Bailey playing Helena, and she's no stranger to the Resident Evil universe. She's voiced various other characters in Resident Evil over the last couple of years. God, who else do we have? Courtney Taylor as Ada Wong. A lot of people like Sally Cahill, and I prefer her as well. But I think Courtney Taylor did somewhat of a good job. Graphic-wise and cinematic-wise, I actually really liked how that was handled as well. But the downside of it was the story just made no fucking sense whatsoever. The Simmons guy was part of this family, which they don't even talk about. They could have done something more with Umbrella, and they didn't do anything with that. They could have tied in so many other things, and they didn't. Controls in that game, fucking god-awful. I'm sorry, like, those controls in that game were, oh my god, to me they were a fucking nightmare. And I'm not the only one who feels like that too. A lot of it was bullshit. I felt that the button reaction time with the game on QuickTime events was not as responsive as it should have been. It should have been picking your button press up right when it happened, and I felt that there was a delay in it, which caused me to die a lot within the game. I felt that, just a lot of things were pretty bad about it. But I said there are good things. I mean, the evolution of Chris Redfield's character, of how he's changed so much in, every freaking game he's in. I enjoyed that. And I think Roger Craig Smith did a great job of him, going all, getting all, angry and hulked out and shit like that, Piers Niven's, I thought, was a fantastic character in the game as well. But I don't understand, I don't think that we need this for the next gen. Certainly, I wouldn't buy it. I would only buy it if there was a deal. If that game went to $4 on a thing, or was free on PlayStation Plus, I would probably pick it up then. Would I ever play it? Probably not, because a lot of the games I get for free or for $2-3 when they're normally $10, $15, $20, I save to play on a rainy day, But Resident Evil 6 to me just was kind of that's kind of what it was on life support. 6 comes out, and you'll watch the trailers, and it's gonna look like a creepy game, and then it just turned into a Michael Bay film, So the problem with that is, you look at how that was handled. Fans were disappointed with it. Then we got, we had games like Resident Evil Revelations, which people fucking loved because it was on a boat. It was creepy as hell. It still had its little action to it and everything like that, but it was pretty freaky. Resident Evil Revelations 2, fan-fucking-tastic game. Granted, I did do a review on it, and yeah, there are a lot of issues with the game that could have made it better, and there were things that hurt the game a lot, but the game was still pretty fantastic. I felt the controls in that were pretty damn good as well. Then, the fact that Resident Evil Remastered came out and, blew people's minds away, and fans who never liked the old school Resident Evil games played this game and were like, shit, we've been missing so much. I've had so many people come and tell me, it's hey, we were wrong. We were wrong about how we thought about the older games. Remake, or remastered, as they're calling it, because that's what it is for them, is amazing. And Zero's coming out, and Zero is getting so much more love than it did when it first was released years ago. And I love that. But I just don't see what Resident Evil 6 is going to bring to the table. I hope that, something good can come out of it, but I just don't see it. you know? Like, I'm not saying that, like, you know, you're an asshole if you like this game and shit like that, because generally now the Resident Evil community, as I have seen it, has leveled themselves out, and everybody's pretty much on the same playing field again like they used to be, which is fantastic. But, again, this is all, like, we don't know 100% if this is true, but the Korean site that this comes from was the one that also talked about the first Revelations game coming to light in, you know, for the consoles and everything. And so they've got and a couple other things they were correct about too, if I remember correctly. So they've got a pretty good track record, so it could happen. You know, that and the fact that PS2 games might be emulated onto PS4 now, who knows, it could happen. It could happen, you know, and if 6 comes on, like, you know, I doubt, you know, it's not going to hurt anybody if it does. I just don't see what's the point of doing it. Resident Evil is at this point now where it's finally coming back. We've got 0 coming out, you know, we've got the announcement of the remake of Resident Evil 2 coming out. Bad ideas just don't need to be done right now. Kind of like with Umbrella Corps that's coming out. You know, a lot of people are not happy with that game at all. Regardless, though, that's my 2 cents on the idea. That's what I think about Resident Evil 6 coming to PS4 and Xbox One if it is a legit thing. But the question is, what do you guys think about it? Like, do you want them to add new outfits? Do you want them to make it so they can have more enemies on screen? You know, do you want to make the modes harder? You know, stuff like that to actually make the game worth buying again? Let me know down in the comments below, because again, I'd really like to see what everybody thinks about this. So, like always, please like and subscribe, because it's free in this day and age. Free's a damn good thing. So, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. I'm One Big Boss, and I will see you all next time.